Hello, family. This is your friend Kenisha, and welcome to another episode of Momentum Mondays. That's right. This is an opportunity where we can start our week and get ready to go. You know that my favorite word is transformation. And we look at the word transform, and it means to make a thorough or dramatic change and character form our appearance. So how can we transform ourselves so we can be successful in life? And then I break that word transform down to trans-inform. And the acronym I've stated for trans is taking real people like you and I and navigating towards success. And form is forcing ourselves into radical metamorphosis or focusing on the right mindset. So when I think of transform, it brings me to our new series title because I want us to transform our thinking into all I do is win. That's right. You and I, all I do is win. All we do is win. And you may say, oh my gosh, if this is your first time tuning in, you may say, Dr. Kenisha, listen, I just failed 5 minutes ago. What do you mean all I do is win? Hang around with me and you'll see. We're going to be on here for just a few minutes. So then our subtopic has been talking about last week, come here, fear. Now you may say, why in the world would you ever beckon fear to come to you? Here's why. And I've stated this for the last few weeks, but I want this to get into your psyche. I want this to get deep down inside of you and to your subconscious mind. So then it begins to be effortless. And you just know it, you believe it, you receive it. Why? Everything worthwhile is uphill. Dr. John C. Maxwell has taught us that. So if we're going to get to a place in our lives where everything that we do is successful, all I do is win, we're going to have to really embrace this notion of success and significance. But we're going to have to do that through understanding this notion of when we don't feel like we've won, when we don't feel like we've mastered what we were trying to master. So when I say come here, fear, K-N-O-W, fear, I know fear, to say no to fear, N-O, fear. That means that I don't run away from that which makes me afraid. I run to it because I understand that anything that's going to be filled with success or significance or a value, fear is a part of the process. Ask anybody that's successful with that. So our thought for today is failure is my friend. Yeah, I said it. Failure, it's my friend. Just like I K-N-O-W, fear, failure is my friend. And here's what failure simply means. A lack of success. That's the definition of it. So you may say, okay, a lack of success is your friend, Dr. Kenisha? What planet are you living on? Keep with me. So Henry Ford, I'm sure you've all heard of Ford vehicles before. Here's what Henry Ford said. Failure is only the opportunity more intelligently to begin again. I'm going to read that again. Henry Ford. Failure is only the opportunity more intelligently to begin again. So if failure means a lack of success and I make failure my friend, that means when I experience the failure, the lack of success, it allows me to begin again more intelligently. That's why all I do is win. Because even when I fail, then it allows me to know what did not work. It's all about what you think. It's all about what you see. It is all about your and my perspective. Failure is my friend because it allows me to start all over again more intelligently. Here's what I love. Here's an example. J.K. Rowling. Have you ever heard of Harry Potter? It's received some marginal success. She's worth $1 billion plus dollars. Not $1, not 1,000, not 1,000,000. $1 billion plus is what Harry Potter through J.K. Rowling is worth. But here's what she said in a Harvard commencement speech. She said this. She outlined the importance of failure, the value essentially of making failure your friend. It says that she received dozens of rejections before she was worth $1 billion, before Harry Potter made it to where it was a household name all around the world. She failed. She was rejected. They said, no, your writing's not good. But every time she received no, fear came up because of her failure, but because she KNOW, she said, I'm going to know fear, and she made failure her friend, and she kept going. She's now a success. And here's what she said. I want to read it to you. J.K. Rowling said this at this commencement speech. I had failed on an epic scale. An exceptionally short-lived marriage had imploded, and I was jobless, a lone parent, and as poor as it is possible to be in modern Britain without being homeless. The fears that my parents had for me and that I had for myself had both come to pass. Here's that word fear again. And by every usual standard, I was the biggest failure I knew. How do you rebound from that? How do you go from being the biggest failure you know to being a household name with books that children and adults all around the world read, having your own brand, worth $1 billion plus dollars? She didn't say this, but I can tell you, I coined this. She made failure her friend. So we're going to be coming from this book again, Chase the Lion, and this is by Mark Batterson. We'll be coming from page 109. And here's what Mark tells us. Fighters don't walk away when the going gets tough. They fight to the finish for their convictions. Fighters don't give up. When everyone is against them, they fight against the status quo. And fighters don't shrink back when the odds are against them. They fight back for what they believe in. So if I'm fighting, it's indicative, and if I have to keep fighting, then possibly I've failed in the fight at some point. Because it wouldn't be a fight if I won automatically. So it's an indicator that fighters understand that failure is their friend. There's only one way to get out of a pit with a lion on a snowy day. You have to fight your way out. You have to understand that failure is your friend if you are going to make it to the place called there, which is everything worthwhile is uphill. If you're going to make it uphill, you're going to have to make failure your friend. You have to fight harder, fight longer, and fight smarter than your 500-pound foe. And this book, they're talking about the lion, but for us, it's called Fear and Failure. Fear and failure, they are our foe. They are the foe. They're the ones that's trying to get us to stop. My question to you is, will you KNOW fear, and will you make failure your friend? If you can answer yes to that, you will win. So here are the 3 thoughts with failure as my friend. 1, mistakes are learning tools. Don't see them as something to make you stop. They are learning tools to help you know how to start more intelligently. Mishaps are learning takeaways. Yes, there are going to be mishaps. It's okay. It's a learning takeaway. And misbehaviors, although I don't recommend them, but misbehaviors are learning trips. You're going to hopefully learn during that trip, but you're going to have to repeat that again. So my question is, will you make failure your friend? I believe in you. Let's get to the place called there together. This is your friend Kenisha. I love you. Have a great day.